Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a fun little project for us. I want to make some greeting cards, and I'm going to use, if you recall, we made these in the past. We've got some that are used punches to create little flowers, and then these are just circles. Well, what I want to do is I want to create a whole bunch of backgrounds, kind of like this. Then we'll chop them up and use them as the base of the card, and then put a sentiment on top. So, I want to show you how we're going to do this. I have a great idea in my head. Let's hope I can get it to work just like that. So I've pulled out a whole bunch of these, and I've got, this is just regular cardstock. I'm just going to start gluing these on the cardstock, and then we'll put them, put some plastic down, put these on top of it, put more plastic, and then weight it down is the whole idea, just to see if we can create these backgrounds. Something different than what I've ever done before, always, right? But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can come up with. And I'm just using plain old Elmer's glue, right? It's just a greeting card. And I'm just going to give a pretty good dollop of glue back here. And then just lay it down, covering the white. And it doesn't want to lay flat. That's absolutely okay, because we're going to press it down. I'm going to weight it down with some tubs of stuff. But here we go. Okay. We've used every scrimp of what we got. All right, so we'll let it dry, and we'll check on it first thing in the morning. Shoo! All right, excited to see how this one's going to turn out. All right, here are our pages. They are somewhat dry. The ones on the bottom are a little more damp than the others, so we'll do those two last. I have all of these that I can start with. So I have these on here, and I didn't specifically try to glue down every little edge. We'll see if that's a good idea or not. But what I want to do is I want them to fit as a front to these cards. So I'm going to measure these cards and then see how many I can get out of a page. And then we'll go from there. So here we are. So it's 5.5, so I'd say 5 by, that's 4 1/4, so 5 by 4, right? 5 by 4. And so I will come in 1/2 inch, give myself an edge to work on. I'm going to do those last. And I want to get a pen, not that pencil, because I don't need it to smear. All right, so I'm going to give myself an edge here. I'm going to go in 1/2 inch. All right, so our cards are dry. I had them under a bucket of stamps and punches, so it was pretty heavy. But there we are. This is what they look like. And I'm going to stamp the back with my signature, just like always. I want to create some sentiments for these. So I have those out. And then I want to decide how I want to decorate the envelope. And then I'm going to also put a piece of cardstock here and maybe here, just to add some weight to the card, just to help it feel a little more luxurious. So there we go. We've got a nice variety of cards. And I just used simple little plastic to separate each one. And I think they're going to be just fine. I do want them all going the same direction so that when I glue the little sentiments on there, they all are going in the correct direction. We'll probably give them another pressing. But here are these. All right, so we'll just get them out. And we want the fold on the top. We have them going all the same direction. I did find that They seem to do a little better with just these acrylic skins versus the rhinestones, right? So with the rhinestones, you can feel it on the back, which is I might put cardstock back there. Okay, so we have this. We're going to do 4 more together just to make sure I explain well how to get to this point. So here are our papers, and some of the pieces are fluffing off. It doesn't really matter. There's so much going on in each card that if a piece or two falls off, you can't even tell. But take this, and we're going to glue it on here. Then we'll use the plastic. We'll press it down and let it dry. Okay, so we have these to create. Now, I did another experiment. I thought, well, instead of gluing it to the paper waiting for it to dry, what if I just glue it directly, the little doodollies, right exactly onto the cardstock, right? So that's why we'll probably put stuff inside. So I'll end up having to trim these, but I came up with this kind of design. So we have several of these to go ahead and trim up, right? So we'll work on that. And then we're going to glue some more just so that I bring you up to speed how I got to that particular point. And then I'm thinking this giant box of, not giant, but large box of stamps here. I'm going to look in here and see if there's anything I can stamp on the envelopes, which would be something different than embossing, right? Or gluing something on there. So let's just look and see what we have. Happy birthday, thanks, just for you, thinking of you. Got those. think that will do it. We can always add more if we need to. So then back out with the plastics. We'll move our envelopes over and these cards that we stamped. But basically, I'm just going to create a sandwich using this plastic. So I just want to make sure that I can prevent it from sticking to the one right next to it. Or let's give this one more. Our stacks are even and we put it under here. They'll sit flat. Alright, so just, and then just do the other one. And then I need to cut a whole bunch of inserts, or 2 for each card. And we'll see if we want to, right? Once they dry completely and they're all decorated, we'll see if that's what we want. If we want to put 2 inserts or just 1 right there where you write. Either way would look good, but we'll make that decision. Alright, let's get these out of the way. I need to scooch these underneath this giant box. So it's not a shoe box, it's one of those next size up boxes. So let's go ahead and get these under here and get that flattening process to start. Okay, there's that. That was used just as a flattener. We'll see what we're going to do with those. These should be dry. But see, it's a little thin back here, so I think I definitely at least want it here. But we're going to do the sentiments for these. That just means I'm going to make a bajillion sentiments. And I may make some on the computer. We'll see. This actually looks pretty good. What I have right here, just don't know if I have enough. And the one thing I've started doing is removing any rhinestones that are behind the sentiment, just to help it try to lay a little flatter. And we are making great progress. All right, we're on our last few cards. We're putting the inserts in. Again, I'm using just a double-sided tape and using that to apply to the back of where we'll put our greetings, like when we want to write in the card. This is the other side, and I get this from the Dollar Tree, and it goes a good long ways. All right, we're down to our last one. This double-sided tape helps it to go quickly. And just put it around the perimeter, and then one in the middle, and just like that. And then I use the back of my little Cricut tool here, just push down the edges so that I can come in and pull up the edge and get that separation started. And carefully pick it up by the edges, and I did trim them so that I could put them on a little skew here inside the card, just to give it just a little bit of extra interest. And press it down, and voila, there we are. So we've made about 40 cards, 40 or so, and there they are. Remember, we did our envelopes, right? So we used the stamp, practice with that stamp, the stamping technique. So we got flowers, and then on the back we put thinking of you on some. On the front we put happy birthday, so we'll align all that with each card. And here's some thanks. Right, and I put some on the front, so that's the back flap on these, right? Just something interesting, so you'll address it. And then on the back is just stamped thanks. And so we have a few of those. My goal is to get better at stamping. Let's see, what do we got here? Thinking of you. Again, that's the flap. And then on the front, right, just of a different variety. Happy birthday. On the back flap. This one, not so great. I might come in with a pen and highlight it, right? So that's why I'm practicing, because I don't have it down yet. But we do have some of those, so those are kind of interesting, right? How they can come out different. So we have lots and lots of envelopes. And then just for you, and that adds no weight to the card. Oh, these are nice too on the flap. That's that different birds with the filigree there around the edge. And then this one just says that it's a handmade card. And then the just for you on a flap. On the front, just for you on the front. So I've got a nice variety of envelopes here, thinking of you. And again, once I get all these pressed down, they'll get matched up with an envelope and then put in my stash. We have a group at church where we send out cards to folks that need cards, right? Maybe it's a congratulations, some thinking of you, a thank you for this, that, the other, or you know, a condolence card. So I try to make a variety when I make them, and then we can come together and just sort of give it out to different members that we know. All right, well, phew, how about that? I've got some with glitter over here. I'll do a close-up and bring you in so you can see it. But here we are. Here are our cards. I sure hope you've enjoyed this video, right? Just taking bits and baubles and creating something that's nice and unique. I was going to do different directions, but I decided to go horizontal, right? So no portraits, just horizontal on these. And we might do a different way next time. Shoot, that took longer than I thought. Going forward, I will glue my little decorations right to the card front, right, and then decorate it. I don't really like putting them all together. I like the look, but it's way bulkier than I thought it would be when I was first considering what I was going to do with these cards. So that was definitely a little learning curve for this set of cards. Phew. I hope you've enjoyed this experiment. If you have, like this video, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing. We do all kinds of stuff all the time. Well, I will bring you in for a close-up so you can see all the different cards. You can see how they some of them have bowed up. That's when I'm going to let them set overnight, dry completely, and then we'll weight everything down. But yeah, I like how these look, and these are just the little leftovers from other cards that I've made from kits that I bought. So that's a great way to use up those little bit of leftovers. All right, well, until next time, happy crafting. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll get some pictures for us. Again, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Until next time.